What's up, guys? I finally made it to Iceland and I'm having such a great time. Bitcoin is not much fun right now, but I do have some things to show you. We're going to get into the charts. I just want to give you a look at this amazing view. We are just hitting sunrise now. It is 10:30 in the morning. This is the view from my room. And you can't quite see it yet, but I'm going to take you over here. And once we get a little bit clearer, there are some really, really nice mountains over there in the background. It is really beautiful. I will do a full room tour vlog on a separate video, but I know you guys have been waiting to hear my thoughts on Bitcoin because it's been a while. Had a crazy week last week, was not able to do any updates, but I'm going to show you some liquidity where, you know, if we continue down, where we might head down to, where would actually be some good buy the dip opportunities, and, you know, essentially, are we going further than where we are right now? So let's get into the charts. All right, so this is where we are currently. I'm on a small time frame, 15-minute time frame. We can see so far how the week is playing out. We had the typical weekend trap with just sideways consolidation. We've moved down all of Monday, and that has, at this point in time, continued into Tuesday. So are we going to get any kind of start of the week bounce? There is something on this smaller time frame that is telling me potentially no, we've had a reset. So I want to talk about that. And I also want to talk about this red and green zone that I have marked, as it's very, very important. I'm going to do my best to edit out in post the construction noise behind me. But if I can't, I'm traveling and that's what happens. So I'm doing my best. But before I get into this small price action, I want to go back and have a macro look at a higher time frame, what's going on with Bitcoin, because it's been a while since I've updated you guys. So let's get into that. We're going to break it down from daily all the way down to 15-minute time frame. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Be sure to smash that like button nice and early and hit subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Now let's get into this video. So first things first, I want to show you on the daily time frame what's going on, because we can see here that there is the W formation that formed here when we were at around the 25K mark. And we've had our 3 level rises. So this is our first rise on the daily time frame, second, and our third rise actually took us right into an unrecovered daily vector candle that literally wicked right onto the 50% area of the vector candle. So vector candle is always our target in this method. We're looking for candles that have had a high amount of volume where a lot of action happened prior. And as price returns there, we want to see how it reacts. So when I scroll left on this, you'll be able to see that that candle that I'm talking about is actually back from 2021, December 2021 over here. This is the candle here. The first attempt only made it to the bottom of that candle. And then where we have at this point in time fallen away, made it to the halfway mark of that candle. So very, very important area. Leading into this week, I was hoping we would see a start of the week move to the upside to then further reject back at this magenta candle here to give us an M formation to actually short. Didn't get that. We've just continued to bleed right down. I'm not currently short. I actually missed this perfect opportunity up here, distracted at the time. That's what happened. So I'm out of the market until I can either get the highest price possible to short, or I see some sort of a signal that the sell-off is over and we're about to bounce. And I don't have either of those things right now, so I'm not doing anything. But I want to talk to you about these zones right here. So the first red level zone that price is currently making its way through sits between 38.6 and 39.6. And that was a really high level of liquidity. It was a 3-month level too. So it was a lot of positions there that, you know, either they've closed or they've been liquidated as price is returning to that level now. And below that, if we happen to eat right through them and we don't get a bounce, we do have another level between 33,600 to 35,200, also another 3-month liquidation level, very, very key. I like this level better, to be honest with you, for an eventual support to hold here. And the reason for that is, well, there's actually a couple of reasons. Usually when I'm looking for a high level of liquidity, I want that to line up with an unrecovered vector. So when I look at this zone right here and I look left on that, These candles are white, so they're not high volume areas. So it doesn't really make sense why we would bounce here. And then when I look at left on this one instead, I do have unrecovered vector candles here. So that one's making a bit more sense. Plus it lines up with around the 200 EMA area. You know, I like to look for multiple confluences, not just one thing. So more lines up for me in that area than where we are right now. But what I have to keep in mind is now this green box. So this green box is currently the long orders, the high amount of long orders sitting on trading line in Binance futures. I'll show you exactly where they are, and then I'm going to show you why I'm a little bit cautious about this actually. So when we zoom out, you can see all these red zones. That's the area that I've marked on my chart in that green box, and it sits between 38.8 to about 38.100. Now, why I'm skeptical about this is because you can see here how we had the same thing for quite some time. And now the price is moving down, those orders are getting lower. And when you just look at this without even seeing the numbers, see how they're so evenly spaced? This worries me because sometimes that can signal that these are spoof orders. And they're basically fake orders that are put in there to have you believe that that's where we're going to bounce so that you buy, right? So you essentially try to front run those orders, you buy, and then as price will get right next to it, those orders will get pulled and we just continue down and you get liquidated. So don't blind long because of all of these orders here. I'm very, very skeptical about these orders right now. Of course, when price does start to hit these areas, I'm going to reassess at the time on the lower time frames and see, you know, am I getting a hint that any of those orders have been picked up and are going to hold as a new support? But at this point in time, I am skeptical about it. So when we zoom in on that area, want to look for where the highest orders are currently. 38.8 is one. It's not the highest, but it is one area. Then the next one is 38.500. And then we've got 1.5K orders at 38.100. So kind of, yeah, the middle, the bottom, the top of that range is where the orders are currently. But also then when we have a look at the footprint of the current candle now, what I also want to see is, are aggressive buyers coming in? Like, who's the aggressive trader right now, the shorts or the longs? Because somebody is winning this race. We obviously know because price is moving down. But I want to see where the strength comes in from the buyers to give me a hint that those lower orders, whichever one of them is going to be the one that holds. So that's when I look at the footprint, and what I would ideally be looking for if I were to believe the buyers are about to step in, I would be looking for in this green side here for the numbers to become higher than the red side here. If the numbers are higher, that's the more aggressive trader right now, which would be the buyers, and especially towards the bottom of the candle, because they're basically the buy the dippers that are like, yep, let's hold this as support. So when I'm looking at the bottom of the current candle at this point in time, I actually don't have that signal. If you look here, we've got 944 in green, but 1.7 in red. So the sellers are still very much in control. Even when you go up here, we've got 1.5K to 2.3. So the only time that the buyers briefly take over, you know, it's not by much, and have some sort of control is basically at around the round numbers, which is, that's what people do. They just put in orders at round numbers, but it doesn't hold. So I am skeptical right now that this is the bottom. And what will change my mind is if I can see that flip where the buyers start to become more aggressive in this footprint here. So now I want to have a look at the 4-hour time frame, because now that I know I am macro, I want to see what levels I can count on intermediate and lower time frames. So I can see here clearly on the 4-hour time frame, this is a drop level 1 and this is 2. Now this was an update I did in my Discord on the weekend prior to the weekend ending, and I said, you know, according to the 4-hour time frame, I think that's the one to watch right now. And I think we should have one more drop down. This is the chart here that I had posted on Sunday, where I had identified the 2 levels, and these were the orders here that I was waiting to see if price came down into first. So that's the other thing. Sometimes I can't be on YouTube all the time. If you're wanting regular updates, consider coming to join us at 𝗖𝗵𝗶𝗹𝗃. For the 1 monthly membership, you get multiple updates daily. I have a huge team that are doing it. It's not only me. But we have multiple trading chart updates daily. Also, for the same fee, you get access to all of our education. So you can come and learn this method in full. Whether you want to be a macro time frame investor and you want to use this method to learn when to buy at the best price, or you want to be a day trader where, you're taking short-term profits and rotating those into whatever you want, there's no better place than Trade Travel to get all of that stuff. So the link is in the description of this video. Check out our website, check out what we have going on. And if it's of interest to you, then definitely come and join us because we would love to have you. But it is definitely the best place to get regular updates ongoing from us, especially when I'm on the road traveling and can't do updates all that often on social media. So back to this 4-hour time frame. We are currently in the level 3 drop on the 4-hour time frame, and there isn't a sign that it's about to end. One thing is currently positive. Now, at the time of filming this, there's 34 minutes left to go on this current 4-hour candle, and it's a magenta candle. So what that signifies is that after all of these red candles, the volume to the downside is slowing down. Now, that doesn't mean a bounce is coming soon. Volume slowing down could mean that we just need a break. So we may just go into consolidation for a little while and we could then have further drops, or a bounce may be coming. So the only positive I see so far is that, number one, this is a slow moving candle, which is good because that's a trend. A slow moving price action is a trend, whereas the fast candles are the manipulated move. So we don't have that. We just have simple selling happening right now, and the selling may be slowing down in volume, which may lead to eventual consolidation, which may hold as a support, and if that happens we have to reassess, or it may lead to a bounce, which at this point in time there's no indication the bounce is coming. What I would need to see is a vector candle, so something like this candle here where you have a small body and a very big wick to the downside. That would signal to me that the level 3 drop is finished and to start looking for W formations to take a long position back up from there. So I don't have it yet, but that's what I would be looking for. Now, if price continues down through all of these buy orders that I pointed out, then that's going to prove to me that those orders were fake and they were put there for a reason. And then I would just be looking for the exact same thing once we hit around the next area of liquidity. I do like that the 800 EMA is here, so I'm watching this area first. If we break through this area, then I'm looking down here at, like I said previously, the 33.6 to 35.2. So for me, I'm not really in a position because I didn't get the perfect short. So I just have to exercise patience because I don't see a reason to long either. So I'm waiting this one out, but I am using this as my opportunity to stay focused on the macro and look for any potential really good spot buying opportunities to hold for the next bull run. Haven't done any of that yet because I don't feel like this bleed is over, but that's where my focus is right now. As far as short-term day trading, until this bleeds out and I get a reason to open a long position, I'm not really reacting at all. But I will take you down to have a look at what is happening on a smaller time frame. Now that we know that we are potentially in the drop level 3 on the 4-hour time frame, now I'm going to go down to the 15-minute time frame to show you how this week has been playing out so far. So we can see here we had a pretty clear weekend trap. Price just went sideways. Monday's move was to the downside, and usually towards the end of Monday or the start of Tuesdays where you would look for a bounce for the 3-day trend to start. Now, what's happened here is a potential reset, because what happened is after we had our initial move to the downside, price here has created an M formation. This was the thing I wanted to talk to you about. So that M formation there could be, it's a multi-session M formation, and that could be a reset for a further 3-level drop, meaning our 3-day trend will just continue to the downside. So we have to keep an eye out for that. How we're going to know, again, is when we start to see stopping volume candles, of which we don't have any yet. So on all time frames, I don't have a reason to open a long position yet. I don't have a reason to believe that the bleed is over with. I am literally just waiting to see what happens in these buy order zones. I'm skeptical of them because they do look like they are false orders put there for a reason, but I'm going to be open to something holding there and reassess when that does happen. If we could break right through them, then I'm looking down to the next lower level that I already told you about. So that's what I would be looking out for. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to smash that like button, hit subscribe if not already subscribed. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know if you did catch the short, because it would have been an epic short. So congratulations to you. And I will see you guys on the next update.